All right. Well, I'm really excited. We got to get to our guest this week. You ready?
Let's do it. You guys have seen him on Billions on Showtime.
You might have seen his HBO special, Son of the Gary.
And you've heard The Bonfire on Sirius XM.
It's Dan Soder!
Yeah. I just ran in the room. It's weird to do these podcasts from home because you have to bring the energy like you're in another place. When you're like, I'm in the guest room. Bringing that guest room energy.
Right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We're really excited to have you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is great.
So we're doing an episode on Dirty Talk today, and the reason we thought of you for this app is I know you have a bit about Dirty Talk.
Yes.
That's really, really great. Essentially a Dirty Talk fail, if you will.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The fail. A real thing that actually happened.
Well, that's always the question in comedy. Is this real?
Yeah, that was 100% real. That was 100% a very real thing. And it was, in the joke, I just say that I was talking dirty, and the girl I was sleeping with, as I talked dirty, was like, oh boy, we got a talker. And then immediately I was like, oh man. Then it just feels like you're just like, I guess we'll just finish this. It's like, there's no, you hit the brake on that. You're like, oh, well, I lost the lust for this. But I met her, I was doing a corporate gig, and like I did the set in like the workspace, and then I went to where like the refreshments were, and this girl walked up to me and she's like, hey, you were funny. And I was like, oh, thanks a lot. And I was like, you work here? And she's like, yeah. I was like, hey, can you give me a job? I'm really nervous about money. And I was like trying to flirt with her. And she's like, oh, yeah, come on. Like, I'll show you around. He's like, show me around. And then this is when I was a drinker. I was like a big drinker. And so immediately I was like, hey, you should come out for a drink. That was always easier when you're single and you're a drinker.
Yeah.
You're like, you want to meet up for a drink? Coffee makes you sound like you're divorcing them. So, when you're like, I'm making sure my upstairs neighbor isn't pounding on the wall. I think his kid's bedroom's upstairs. And I think we're like late enough that you could be like, I'm going to be like talking like, and then she yells out, fuck me, you wild bastard. And this kid's just laying in his race car bed. Like, why would people say that to each other? Why do people say mean things to make them do nice things? But that lady, like we went out on a date and then like hooked up, and she was like sarcastic when we were flirting. And then on the date was like more sarcastic. And then as she got drunk, I think she came with me to a spot and like we were drinking at the bar. And then as it went on, she was like feisty. And I was like, oh, this girl's a fucking handful. We were doing that like make out, and then she'd like push me and then pull me and she'd be like, oh,
wow. Okay. Yeah.
That's playful.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I'm gonna sleep at your house tonight. And I was like, done. And we like were hooking up, and then I was like talking dirty, and she was like, oh, but then it became like, oh man, you're just mean. Like, you're just a mean lady. I don't want to say some stuff. But I've had dirty talk. That was the worst dirty talk fail I've ever had. Easily.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody remembers their worst. Because that was one of the questions we wanted to ask, is what was the worst thing said to you?
Oh, man. Anytime a woman would aggressively tell me to like hit her,
Oh, that's alarming.
That's alarming, because you're like,
Yeah.
because it's like, that's like the situation where like the dirty talk is taking off, and then it just like starts breaking through the levels where it's like, this is getting out of control, it's getting dangerous. And she's like, hit me, you son of a bitch. And you're like, no. And then you end up having to do like a light punishment where you're on the cheek like, how dare you? How dare you, you silly girl. But yeah, that was the weirdest. That's always the weirdest one, because I'm not into, a light choking, I understand, but like a heavy abuse, we are trained our entire life to get the green light for sex and to not hit women. So it's weird when it's like, now just take it and hit me. And you're like, Mike Racine has my favorite joke about that. Mike Racine has a unbelievable bit that I don't even want to try to attempt because it's too good.
He actually was our latest guest. That's so
really?
Cool to bring him up.
Yeah.
We talked about the book The Game, because Mike has read that book twice. Twice, 2 times.
Oh.
And I was like, you got to come on the pod and talk about this.
Oh my god, I can't wait to text him about that. I love that he thought it makes sense.
He admitted it, honestly, you know? I mean,
it makes sense because I've seen Racine like neg women before. Where he's like, that hat you got on is pretty stupid. And they're like, shut up, Mike.
That was his biggest takeaway.
It was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he wore a fedora before.
No,
Going out. Yeah, he read the book when he was 19. So let's give him a little credit. Okay, he was young.
Did you see Young Hot Racine? Have you seen pictures of Young Hot Racine?
No, but I feel like, would it be like young hot Vince Vaughn and a wife beater?
Yes. It's
really? Okay.
Like,
specific.
So, well, I try to think of someone Guido-y in a wife beater that I've seen.
Racine had long shoulder length hair and looked like an Italian hot boy.
That and a fedora.
Get a young picture of. I would go as far as to say is that Racine is a heartthrob. That when he was a young boy.
He's a good-looking guy. I'm not saying he's not good-looking.
Yeah, Racine's a good-looking guy. You know, it's just when he starts talking and making you feel uncomfortable that you realize. Racine's one of my favorite human beings and one of my favorite comedians. And that joke that he has about teaching your son not to rape and how hard it is to teach him not to rape is such a funny joke. It's like perfect because it's like, oh yeah, you got to go against everything you were taught.
Yeah.
When women are like, just fucking throw me around. And I'm a big guy, so they're like, you could probably really hurt me. And you're like, you don't want to.
Oh man, but I guess we'll try to get back to the dirty talk. The one thing you hit on though is I feel like it would almost be similar to like if you put on a playlist and someone was like, this song, and then you just shut off the playlist. You're like you feel like you can't just shut it off.
Yeah, if I'd be like, hey, let me put something on right now, and then I put it on, she's like, is this a Cash Money playlist? And I go, yes, it is. Everything before Lil Wayne left the label.
Yeah. Yeah, she's like, I recognize this. This is Hip Hop Barbecue, isn't it?
Yeah. Now are you playing now? That's what I call music volume 33. And I go, you're good. You can't get nothing behind you minx.
Right. But I mean, I think you touched on why a lot of people are intimidated to even initiate any of it. Partly of, is this going to get to a level I don't want? And also just the pure rejection, you know?
Yeah, Big J and I have discussed at length how horrific it must be to hear your dirty talk played back to you.
Oh, God.
Because I think dirty talk is a one-way street where you only want to hear the other person's, and you'll just get yours out, and they have, but you like, if you had to like, it's got to be so tough in court cases where they read transcripts of like sexts or stuff.
Yeah.
Like, baby, I want you. Baby, I'm rock hard. Look at it. Just fucking look at it. You're like, did you send that, sir? And you're like, just, no. It's a sweater vest. I don't know. It's just, yeah, that's always so funny to me that they can be like, I was trying to do a bit for a while that our grandkids will have the technology to be able to read our sexts, which is worse than walking in on your parents because you actually see the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
So you're gonna be like, oh fuck. But then the joke was like, oh, grandpa spelled cum, C-O-M-E. What an idiot.
That's like I had a time, me and my brother are very, very close. We do talk about sex, everything, which people are already like, that's weird. But even as close as we are, there was one time.
That's the most Greek thing I've heard you say. You could tell me you own a diner, and the more Greek thing would be like, yeah, I talk about sex with my brother. Yeah. You could probably make some grape leaves, huh?
Yeah. I mean, / Italian, but that's fine.
Okay.
It's all right. I get it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Easter's just a different day. It's the same.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. All those people from that lovely island. No, yeah. That's got to be like, I didn't have a sibling, so that's got to be did you guys get to that gradually, or were you just so close as kids that as you grew up, it was like a normal thing to talk about?
Well, me and my brother are almost like Irish twins. We're very close in age. So it kind of was like,
but
we got the sex talk at the same time. Like,
you guys are, so you're telling me you're Italian twins, which means That's just like your Irish twins, but there was candles lit when you were conceived. That's the only
Yeah,
difference.
probably. Yeah. Like when my mom got a stroller, it was a double. It was immediately like, there's another one coming. Like, we're not stopping this train.
She's like, I left the oven on and you just threw another one in immediately.
Right. And Molly has an older brother, but you're what, 4 years, 5 years?
6.
6. And you're very close now.
Yeah. Now we'll like talk about sex and stuff, which is kind of weird to have gotten to that point. But I remember being in like, I don't know, like 6th grade and hearing high school girls like talk about him and like wanting to hook up because I played up in soccer. I'll never forget the day my brother drops me off at practice and I was 12 playing with like the seniors in high school, so like 18-year-olds, which it shouldn't have been happening. And I walked up to the girls and like trying to be cool. And one girl just looks at me. She goes, "Ooh, Rob DeMellier, I'd love to ride him through town." And I was like, I was 12 years old. I didn't know what the fuck this meant.
You're like,
and so,
right?
You're like, yeah, he just got his license.
Yeah.
You
He's
go,
on the costume. He'll be here
you know
long.
what? You go, a little tip there. He's afraid of the basement. So I don't know if you still want to ride him.
I was like, Robbie, like, what are they saying?
He cries at the end of Goonies every time we watch it. So yeah, no, you should definitely fuck my brother.
So it took a while to get to a comfortable sex talking place.
Yeah, or like as close as I am with my brother, the only time that I was like, this is weird, was one time he like came over and he was just like, hey, this girl sexted me. I don't know what to say. He was a little like, he's like, she's a little intense. I don't. What? And I was like, and I gave him something. I was like, just throw this at her. And he sends it. He gets no reply. And now we're both panicking. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, don't cut. This is a little too much. I shouldn't have gotten involved. The next morning, she's like, I fell asleep. I'm so sorry. She's like, that's really hot though. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah. Well, you still would have solved one problem had it failed. And that would have been your brother would have never asked you to ever get involved in any kind of situation like that.
Right.
Because I grew up an only child. So like for me, it was like you didn't have anybody to talk to about it. You're just like, and my mom was a single mom. So you're like, I heard thumping and moaning. I'm pretty sure I know what that is. Let me just get really into Legos. Like, let me just zone out and play with my G.I. Joes and I'll just let it wash over me.
Yeah, well, I mean, thanks for coming on and being comfortable talking to us about sex. I know you don't know us super well, but like that was partly our whole life. We felt like we had the in because we had brothers that we could go to and go, hey, what does it mean when a guy does this?
Oh man, yeah, you have like a whole catalog, and especially a 6-year-old older brother. Now, I'm more curious with a brother that's 6 years older or a brother that's 18 months older or whatever, like a year older. Was he older than you, Erica, or was he younger?
Yeah, he's older.
Who wanted to fight guys that you dated more? The distant brother or the closer brother? Like, was your brother protective of you, Erica?
No, I once got into a slight altercation on the bus and my brother was there and he didn't do anything. And I distinctly remember coming home, obviously the school called, and my parents sat us down and they were like, the first thing they asked me, they said, where's Marcus? Where was he? I go, he was right there. They were like, he was sitting right there. I was like, he was right there. He saw the whole thing. And they were like, you didn't do anything? And my brother just goes, I mean, honestly, I thought about helping the other guy. She had it under control. I didn't like he's very much a lover, not a fighter situation. Because there has been the reverse of he had a little like someone was kind of coming at him, and then I stepped in. I remember he didn't stop me. He was just like, yep, get in front of me. Get right in there. Like,
go get her. Thank you very much. But when you have but Katie, when you have a brother that's 6 years older, that's like he comes back around the house being like, who's your high school boyfriend? Who's this fucking guy?
Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't really have like high school boyfriends, but he was always very protective of like, if someone said anything, he was in there of like, Molly's the baby. And it was kind of interesting because all of his really good friends growing up didn't have younger siblings or especially a younger sister. So I was kind of like everybody's baby.
That's awesome. So you're like Molly, the town sister. There's like look after her. She's good at soccer. Kill anybody that tries to poison this pure flower.
Pretty much. Yeah.
I remember I was like 20 and so they were all like out of college. I was seasoned in drinking games and we were playing King's Cup and it got to Never Have I Ever. And they were all like, no, Molly, like you can't, you've never done any of these things. You can't do it. And I was like, okay, I'll just sit this one out.
That's great.
Guys.
You know what? Just for everyone to sleep at night, I'm going to walk away.
Yeah, so
God bless
correct.
you guys.
I'm 12 forever.
And the answer is never have I ever played this game with my brother's friend as friends. So I'm going to step away.
Yeah. There's also another level of like, none of my brother's friends ever tried to even date me or make a move.
Yeah.
Like there was none of that happening.
And you're too young. You're too young. Molly, you're too young. And Erica, you're too close.
Well, I would hang with them. I was that one of the guys situation.
The only way that goes, only way that goes down, because you're so close in age, is if one of your brother's friends did hit on you, you would be married. It's like one of those things where it's like we were childhood sweethearts and it was like my best friend's sister.
Yeah, you're not allowed to break up with me.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, exactly. That's the one your parents wanted. That's what Italian parents really want. Where they're like, a boy that we know since he was a little baby.
That's very
and then
true.
and like Molly, you're just too young. Where they'd be like, wait, who's coming around? And they're like, Chris, stop by. And they're like, that fucking pervert.
I never liked him.
Yeah, you're fucking 17. He's 23.
All right, well, let's get back to a little bit of dirty talk stuff. So one piece of advice that we found when we were doing some research, right, is that basically dirty talk is supposed to be dirty. It's a huge turnoff if you take dirty talk and you try to like clean it up in any way, shape, or form.
Who does that? Who does Christian dirty talk?
I don't know, but it's the thing of like, if you look up examples, we looked up a whole list of examples on our episode with Julio, episode 60, if you want to check it out. And we're saying them to Julio and not editing them. But some of them, even though I've done dirty talk, I kind of was like hesitant to fully say.
Yeah. It's the verbal cannonball. It's just so you're like, I'm gonna make the biggest splash possible. Here we go, baby. And you tuck your knees and you're like, I want to fuck your ass. And he's like,
well, do you feel like if men go to initiate dirty talk, do you feel like you have like a go-to little thing to like test the waters?
No,
because I think
honestly,
a lot of women feel that. They're like, I'll say this little thing.
I'm a simple man, so I think I start down the path by just saying what I'm experiencing.
Okay.
You're just like, this feels really good. And then specifics. It's all about specifics. Where it's like, I remember complimenting you like compliment the way something looks that you actually find, so you're not lying, you know?
Yeah.
This just sounds like an erotic improv exercise. We're like, just take what's in the room. But it really is. I think it's like about being, because when it's faked or it's dishonest, it just feels disconnected and weird. Where you're just like, what's going on? Why? And then that's like where it gets murky, you know? But if you're just like, this right here feels very good, then it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. All right. You know, and then you just kind of gauge each other.
Well, I was wondering, do you think when you've had a consistent partner for a while that you feel like you get repetitive?
Oh yeah, I'm very worried about repeating. I've been with my girlfriend over a year now, and I'm like, she's heard the hits. She knows the hits. And it's, you know, it's a thing where you're like, I don't want to bore her, but I don't know what new directions to take. You know, you try to do a prequel to a hit or a sequel to another hit. So I don't know. It's like, I think about being in the moment and trying to relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was just telling Erica earlier. So after our episode with Julio, my job was to go back and try some of the stuff on my boyfriend.
It's not like I was like, you have to go do this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Like, you're allowed.
It's fresh in your mind. Okay, it's fresh in your mind. You're going to his place the next night. Throw a line out there. Okay, it's not bad.
That's great. She's like, fucking. She's like, hold on real quick. You just pull out a cue card. Yeah, I got some launch codes here that I got to read off.
Holding my phone behind his head.
Yeah. You
Don't
go,
look back here.
You feel so good, you fucking pig. And he's like, what's up? Like, all right, never mind. Hi. Hey, it's me, your snuggle bear.
So I get through them though, and then he was like, talk to me. And I was like, I just did. What more do you want?
At the end, you were like, I said the 4 lines I had?
I used them all up. I was like, well, we still got a ways to go, man.
That's so funny. You're like, I don't have any more quarters, man. I can't play this game.
Roll out.
Like, I'm fresh out of quarters, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Your butt looks nice.
I just pretended I didn't hear him, which I think is worse.
I've pulled that with bad dirty talk. I'm just like, he didn't say that.
Yeah, that's so funny.
He'll get the hint. We just don't respond.
That's got to get hurt. That's got to be hurt, though, if you're dirty talking and someone hits you with a, what's that?
Come again?
What were you saying?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. What was it? To make someone repeat their dirty talk has to be said. I said your pussy feels. Is this the guy repeating it? Yeah. Oh man, that's how you find out who a real weirdo is. You're like, he just said it right again without blushing.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only like the most recent time I tried, or it was with like a study partner, kind of Molly's similar situation. I remember it wasn't even me trying. It was like we tried kind of a new position. Something happened. Basically, he was behind me. So I was like, I don't know what you're doing back there, but it feels great. Right? Like I was like, let's keep doing that. Right? Classic lines. Nothing crazy. He was not a talker. So I was like, I'm not going to go nuts. But I just was like, whatever you're doing, keep going. That feels really good. Whatever. Then after you're hanging out, cuddling, he started like mocking what I said.
No.
Oh no.
And he was like, no, I'm not making fun of you. I'm like, you are 100% making fun of me. Like I was like, oh, is that?
No.
Like, and I was just sitting there like so hurt.
How is he doing it? Was he just saying back, like was he like complimenting it, or was he doing like the you fucking feel really good behind me?
No, it was like dead quiet, you're just hanging, nice silent moment, and then he like repeated the thing of like, that like I don't know what you're doing, it feels so good, and I was like. And I like popped up and looked at him and was like, oh, is this like, is that not okay that I said that, No. Right, but I just was like, oh, I was giving you positive feedback. Like, if you don't want it, I'll just stay quiet. You know what I mean? Like,
someone definitely needs to try to do that voice and repeat back what they say. That's your next test. The Julio one, you got to take like some fun things back. Now, whenever your boyfriend says something, just say it back in the mocking tone. Where you're like, oh, does that feel really good? And he's like, all right.
He'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah, or I don't know if anyone here has been in the situation. You feel that pressure to say something, and then you say something that's like a command, say like choke me, right? Mm-hmm. Then they do it, and then you're like, wait, I don't want this. Actually, you're like never. You're like, I don't.
I was actually choking.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Help me, I'm kidding. This is a joke.
You don't want to hear that out of a woman's mouth.
I was kidding. You gotta go. I can't breathe.
Sorry.
I was fucking joking around.
You're trying to be serious. You're like, oh yeah, just choking.
I was fucking kidding, dude. Oh, God damn it. You're fucking strong.
No, I mean, I've had that happen. That exact example happened to me where I just was like, I'd take it back. And then you feel terrible because you're like, that was totally mixed signals. My bad. Like, that's like the woman's perspective where you're like, I just didn't know what to say and I panicked. And that was the first thing that popped in my head,
What a red light, green light. You're like, green light, red light.
Yeah.
Green light,
you're like
red
real
light.
Quick.
Yeah, yellow light, red light.
Red light.
Dude, that choking voice though, just coming out and being like,
hey, so I'm thinking about it and I don't think I really want you to do this.
She's like, what? Oh, yeah, okay. Totally. It's weird to go like with I regret having you choke me into a passionate kiss. There's like,
There's no smooth way to get out of that.
Yeah,
you're
right?
like, sorry about that, lover.
I had probably the worst like dirty talks experience in college though. So this guy was on top and he tried to say something and I totally missed what it was because a piece of gum falls out of his mouth. Oh. And I got like nervous and starts going harder. But mind you, since I'm on the bottom and it falls like back on the pillow, I didn't know that, like, I thought he had eyesight on the gum and he keeps going and it gets all up in my hair. And I was like, I just got to get out of here. I got to get him like to finish. And so he does. And I put my hand on the back of my head and there's just a wad of gum like on my scalp. And so then I had to go find my roommate who was hooking up with another guy because this guy just dips. And her and this other guy have to lather peanut butter through my hair to get the gum out so they don't have to cut it.
Did they get the gum out?
Yeah, they did. So they didn't have to cut my hair. But like my whole head was
First
peanut
off,
butter.
who are you fucking in college? A football coach? Who's chewing gum when they're going to have sex? And like,
It was a
like
freshman.
yeah, you had sex with Burt Reynolds or Norm Macdonald doing Burt Reynolds?
It's more common than you'd think.
Yeah.
I like how people go down on women with gum in their mouth. They like tuck it somewhere.
Yeah, I thought he had
Up in
tucked
the
it.
gum?
And then it
Yeah.
just, oh.
When it just
Yeah.
drops out, you go, sorry, I got a piece of extra rolling around here on the pillow somewhere.
Yeah.
It'd just be crazy to show up with like an extreme haircut and people are
Yeah.
like, Mom, did you have a breakup?
Hey,
And you're like,
yeah.
no, I got laid. Like,
Yeah, you have
The
the
opposite.
fryer tuck just in the middle of your head, and you're like, what happened? And you're like, well, I ended up banging a dude who dropped a piece of juicy fruit and it rolled in my hair.
Yeah. I was pretty sure that was
That's
me.
fucking, that's so funny.
So
Eyes on the gum. That's immediately what I would have said if I were you. Eyes on the gum. Eyes on the gum. And he's like, yeah, eyes on the gum. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You're like, eyes on the gum, motherfucker. Eyes on the gum. Is there?
what would you say in general would be just the biggest turnoff when it comes to dirty talk?
Someone just agreeing with it to end it when they're like, okay, or like, sure,
Yeah.
and you're like, all right, never mind. God damn it. Mm-hmm. That would be
Well,
nice. That would be lovely.
well, I was going to say, so say from the woman's perspective, some guy's
Yeah.
dirty talking, you're not into it. What do you think the woman should say or do that would be a better way to navigate it than what you just said?
Say, shut your mouth and fuck me, and then the dude will be like, cool.
Oh, that's hot.
Wow, that's really,
Yeah.
damn, that is great advice.
Good man.
Yeah,
That is
and then he's
good.
like, well, but I still got some stuff I gotta tell you.
So do you think it's hot when a woman initiates the dirty talk, or do
Yeah,
you prefer
absolutely.
to initiate? Okay.
Have either or, but yeah, that preferably.
Have you ever been intimidated to initiate yourself?
Yes. Yeah, of course. Because, depending on the person, the situation, how it's going down, could be back when I was drinking, I think I was a little more cavalier.
That does make it easier.
Yeah, I think I was a little more like, I'm poetic. And now that I don't drink, I'm like, I'm an idiot. Shut up, dude. Just shut up. You're going to blow this whole thing.
Well, is dirty talk something that once you became sober, did it like take
It
you
stayed.
time to like even get comfortable to do it again?
Yes.
Or
Yeah,
you're not
yeah.
as into it as you used to be? Or what was that
No,
process
I
like?
think it was like, it took time to be comfortable with it sober, because it's like you have to be comfortable with the person.
Mm.
And then when you're comfortable with the person, it's better. But, it's quitting drinking, you're just super sensitive to everything. Like doing stand-up after I quit drinking was like hard, because you're like, man, I can hear everything that's happening right now. I can hear the silverware being put down. I can hear ice in the back. And so I think that's the same in every aspect of life. When you stop drinking, you're like super sensitive to shit.
I mean, definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, do you think men will dirty talk differently to a woman that they're just going to hook up with versus a woman that they see around a relationship?
Yeah. I mean, it's like,
Thank you for the honesty, by the way. A lot of guys are like, no, we don't view you
No, yeah,
guys any
absolutely.
They're all
differently.
the same.
I don't know. Do you talk to someone different when you're on a flight with them versus your roommate? And it's like, yeah, 'cause you're never gonna see the person you're on the plane with possibly ever again. But like your roommate is gonna watch you eat cereal in your shorts and fart. Like you can't really be like crazy and wild. I mean, I guess you can. I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know. But yeah, I would say yes.
See, this is the part I think actually for women is the most different when it comes to dirty talk. Most women, if you said you're with this guy first time, probably one night stand.
Oh
like,
yeah,
you
guys
are you more intimidated to initiate dirty talk or even do it at all? And they're usually like, yes. Like most women, myself included, I'm kind of following the guy's lead on pretty much the whole encounter. Because you're partly like, will I see this person again? Will I not? I don't really know.
Sure.
Like you're kind of like, I'll let him take the lead. He wants to dirty talk, I'm in. He doesn't, that's fine.
Well, also if it's just a hookup and you're like, that's what it's going to be. I'm always like, why am I putting in this effort?
Yeah.
Like,
You know what's
that's a
weird
lot
is
of
that's
work.
it's like it's like a weird mating ritual where it's like the man has to like sing that song to like the woman, and they'll be like, these are all the things, this is everything I'm gonna do, I'm gonna provide, I'm gonna emotionally be supportive, even if it's a one-night stand, because then you're like, that's how you get to the next date, is being like, all right, I talked dirty enough. And then once you get to the relationship, women are like, you're not gonna murder me, fantastic. Choke me during sex. I changed my mind. I still.
Yeah, or like I don't know, even friends I know that are into dirty talk that are women, I feel like none of us like walk away or leave a guy's place and we're like, man, he said nothing. Like, we're not like so bummed. We're not like, you know, if he would have just dirty talked, I would have came. Like, you know what I mean? That's usually not like the issue.
I think it's situational, but yeah, I can see women more than men walking away being like, I heard him grunt, I heard him clinch, and then I heard him grunt again, and it was a pretty good time. I got mine, and you know, the dinner was average.
Well, I think it's also that fear of he's going to say something so insane. Like, I think it's more common that a woman walk away and be like, you'll never believe what he just said.
Oh my God. I can't imagine some of the crazy shit that women have heard, like all-time craziest lines, like that Army Hammer or whatever, all those Army Hammer ones. That was like a thing where they're like, his crazy dirty talk. And my girlfriend was going through it on Twitter and reading some of the stuff. I was like, this motherfucker is wild.
Yeah.
Nuts. Yeah. Like there's a difference between like, ooh, baby, and like, I'm going to drink your fucking blood. You're a corpse. And you're like, all right, dork. Yeah. You're howling dork.
I read an article that he was looking up doctors to be able to remove this girl's ribs, like the bottom one that you don't need, so that he could eat it, like he could smoke it and eat it.
So that's real.
Yeah, that was real.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, that's also, Dan, just earlier you being like, I've had a woman be like, hit me. And you read his messages being like, this is insane.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think there's a difference between, hey, lightly hit me to make me come, and, hey, can you do me Kansas City style and make it a dry rub on my rib? Like, I'm thinking, I don't need it Memphis style. I don't want it with like, you know, or North Carolina style. More Kansas City. More have the seasoning.
He was like carving letters into her skin and like trying to eat it too. It was
really?
Yeah.
Dang.
It was an exclusive in Fox. It was nuts.
That is pretty crazy, just to be like, yes, I carved it in. How does that look?
Yeah, she like sent the photos.
Jesus.
It's gross.
I was going to say, in terms of initiating, if a woman said to her partner, tell me what you like, or just the line of talk to me, do you feel like that is not a great route to go?
No.
Or good or bad?
Michelle Pfeiffer in Dangerous Minds? That's like the turning around of a chair, and she's like, talk to me. Where's your head at? What do you want me to? That's a guidance counselor dirty talk. What are your plans for the fall? Do you see yourself in 10 years? And you're like, I don't know.
Well, I've been on the receiving end of someone initiating this way. I didn't like it. Right? But I have done the like, tell me what you want or tell me what you like. And I also find that people on that, though, it's kind of 50-50.
Yeah, but that's just like, tell me what you need, bro. What do you need? I'm trying to understand you, essay. What's going on? I'm trying to reach these kids. I'm trying to put my kids inside of you. Yeah, it's I don't know. I really don't know. I would say like, you know, I think you slow roll into it, moaning, and then you start talking and feeling it out. And then if it, you know, there's some people that are just buck wild and they'll just fucking grab you by the back of the head and spit in your mouth. And you're like, oh, this is a handful.
That's a lot to start with.
Yeah. And then there's sweet, innocent girls that give you fucking tours of their office and then tell you that you're boring them with their dirty. Oh, we got a talker. She's a nice girl, though, and I hope she's doing well.
So what do you think is like the best way that a woman can initiate dirty talk?
Just by doing it. Just
Just
jump in the pool.
Yeah.
Just jump in the pool, and you'll know immediately if it's warm or not.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because you guys feel our bodies. We don't know how to control our bodies like you do. That's why we can't make kids. So you just tense up and just fucking get rigid. And we're like, I like that. I like that. If his breathing goes shallow, you're probably doing a good job.
Yeah, my piece of advice to a woman would be say something that is something that you want. Almost like take something that's almost like slightly a direction
Yes.
and just make it a little sexy, because then you're going to get double the bonus, right? You started the dirty talk train, and you're going to guide him towards like, hey, this is what I like. This is going to make me come.
Vision board that dick. Just say what it is and get it going. I agree.
So what do you think is hotter when you're seeing someone, dirty talk or sexting?
Dirty talk, because you're in the room.
Okay.
And it's intimate, Yeah, I think sexting's fun, but then like dirty talk in the room is like, you're with a person. So you're face to face.
Yeah. And sexting is tough to deliver on. Because like if you're saying too much, then you're like, oh no, I can't actually do this.
They go, wow, that's so cool. I gotta wake up early tomorrow. And you're like,
oops. Or I was gonna say the other thing with sexting is like the fact that it's like there's an imprint of it. That I feel like the people I've sexted with the most were people that like I didn't really date.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like we pulled up that chat and it was like, just go back to sexual town. You know, it's hard to be sexing with someone and then be like, hey, could you get groceries? Like,
that's so funny. That's what you're like, hey, also, when was the last time we changed the filter on the air conditioning?
Yeah.
And then the text above it, it's like, I want your body all over me and in me. And then it's like, hey, are the Triscuits done? I'm at the store.
Yeah. It's almost like you got to send like a photo of like a dog or something random. Just to, like take up the space in the phone chat.
You got to do a palate cleanser.
Yeah, basically. Like delete these messages.
Yeah, and then we'll get back to our regular scheduled programming.
Yeah, so if anything, actually, it might be smarter to be like, hey, if you want to sex, do it through like a different app, like a different medium. Like, I don't really use Snapchat, but like Snapchat or, I don't know, I guess Instagram messages. I don't know.
I like Snapchat because it goes away.
Yeah,
also that.
Yeah, but it's also, you don't have anything to go back and reflect on.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of nice.
They can't like scroll up and be like, you already said this.
Yeah. You're playing the same thing. You played that song already.
Yeah, I'm currently cat sitting for somebody, and she wants a picture every day, and then I sent a picture the one day, and she was like, didn't you send this 2 days ago? And I was like, fuck! I was like,
Did she save it in the phone?
She recognized it immediately. It was like, I've already got this one. And I was like, and then I was in a panic. I was like,
oh no. Are you close to this person that you're cat sitting for?
No. This is a friend of a friend. I thought they knew each other at work. And then while I was there and I started talking about our mutual friend, she was kind of like, yeah, I've never met Iris. And then I was sitting there like, I've already signed up and I don't know this person at all.
What? Oh, and then you sent the same picture and that's so fucking funny.
She must have saved it and it went to the date in the phone.
Maybe. I have no idea. I have truly no idea. Yeah.
That's so
because I sent one picture of the cat. The first one I sent, she replied, the cat looks stressed. And then I was like, well, now I'm stressed to get a picture where it doesn't look stressed.
So, fuck you, lady. What do you mean this cat looks stressed?
I don't know. I don't know. I was like, I guess I'm not doing a good job over here. But I got paid up front. So I was like, well, you know what? It's alive. That's...
My cat looks a little anxious. Could you put on some green tea for her? Fuck you, dude. It's your cat. You're paying me to watch her.
Quick pause. Is there any questions you want to do rapid fire?
I think we should move to rapid fire. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do a segment we do on the show sometimes. Got a little rapid fire for you here. Some kind of sexting, dirty talk related questions. All right.
Let's do it.
So do your best. If you got a small comment, totally fine. But I'm gonna give you one or the other. All right. So rapid fire. First one. Yes or no? Is talking sensually more intimidating than talking dirty?
Yeah, because what does that even define? Are you like reading sonnets? Are you reading like I don't understand what that is. Sensuality? I feel like you have to be on silk sheets even to start that off. That's some fucking candlelit Italian twins fucking energy.
I guess like more of a making love. So things I guess you wouldn't like. Probably the word "cum" isn't being used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you're saying what's more intimidating?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Yeah. So yes, no. Wait, what is that? That's the yes or no. Is
it's more intimidating.
Is it more intimidating?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Yes or no? Do you think a woman is sluttier if she initiates dirty talk the first time you have sex?
I want to say yes, but also I don't think that not as a bad thing. I think that's a good thing. I think that's that shows like a determination. fucking real go-getter. Good for you.
Yeah, like she goes for what she wants.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
You proud, independent woman.
All right. Yes or no? Do men always want dirty talk?
Yes.
Some feedback.
Something. Yeah. It's a team effort. You got to know you're working well.
All right. Yes or no? Men are more shy to make noises during sex than to talk dirty during sex.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Because
God damn it! I thought of this question and I was like, because I've had this. This is so mind blowing to me. I know we're doing rapid fire, but real quick, it's so mind blowing to me that there are some dudes that will talk, and then there is no noise when they finish, and you're just like, this is so weird.
Because I think it's weird because we don't make noises like women. Men make noises that are more like bellows and more like, oh. It's just more like a letting than it is like like a woman's orgasm is like a prize. It's like you're ringing a bell. It's been compared to a lot of things. A man's orgasm is like clearing a pipe. It's just like when an engine shoots out smoke. It's like. So the noises that come along with it aren't as cool. We're just like, oh, yeah, it sucks.
It's just so funny to me because it's like, what makes me very comfortable to make any noise is when they make any type of noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so same with dirty talk. They dirty talk a little, you're like, oh, all right, I can a little bit. So it's almost like I feel sometimes I've almost felt like I got left on red.
Yeah.
Like I made an orgasm noise and you didn't. And I'm
like,
what
the fuck, dude? And he goes, well, that does that. All right. Thank you very much. Looks like we should pack up.
It's like you're inside me. Like I feel like we've already done the awkward part.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but that's not, honestly when it gets more awkward because you're like, hey, we're kind of one person right now.
Well, I was gonna say, I'm not someone that like has watched a lot of porn, but in general, would you say in porn even men aren't really making noise? Do you think maybe that's part of it?
I think, well, no, that's what they say. No. I
sense.
actually say, I would think in porn men make more noise.
Oh, they make more? Oh, they do?
Yeah,
okay.
And that's why women have to deal with guys who are like, yeah, fuck yeah. And then they're like, all right, dude, where did you learn that? And you're like, sorry. Watch a bunch of movies.
I just did that one, right?
Yeah. Okay, so now we're going to do play Fuck, Marry, Kill. Do you know?
Got it.
Okay. So Fuck, Marry, Kill, dirty talk, sexting, or girl on top position.
Man, this is tough. Kill.
Can I maybe make it easier?
Yeah.
Let's say in a relationship, fuck, marry, kill these.
Kill
Dirty
sexting.
Talk. Okay.
Fuck, girl riding on top, marry, dirty talk.
Okay. Now, hooking up. Say one night stand. How do you rank them?
Girl on top, kill girl on top, fuck, sexting, marry, dirty talk.
Interesting. I was gonna say, Molly, how would you rank these?
I would probably kill sexting, fuck dirty talk, and marry girl on top.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm killing girl on top.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
I don't
like
like
being
it
in
up there.
control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm 5'11" and you're 5'4", so I'm like, I don't gotta get up there.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
You know, hey bud, I'm not gonna take anything of yours. I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah, right. I'd probably it's interesting, long-term relationship. I think I would value sexting more. I think that's a nice way to kind of keep things exciting a little bit. I think
Okay.
it's very nice to like, anytime I've sent like a photo to somebody, it was never asked for. So I kind of like that as a move that I might marry sexting actually. I might marry sexting, fuck dirty talk.
Makes sense. That's good.
All right. Next one, fuck, marry, kill. Dirty talk, sexting, blowjobs.
Kill, sexting, fuck, dirty talk, marry, blowjobs.
I figured.
Yeah.
Do we have to answer that one? I don't really.
Nah.
Or would that be the female version?
Yeah. Oh, if we.
Yeah,
do it going down.
cunnilingus.
Yeah. Well, marry cunnilingus.
Yeah.
And I'll fuck sexting. I'll kill dirty talk. No, shit.
Right.
That's hard. You get
That
rid
is tough.
I'll fuck dirty talk. I'll kill sexting. I'll get rid of.
Yeah, that's.
I'll come up with a new move.
Yeah.
I'll figure something out.
We'll write some emails.
Yeah. I'll send them flowers. It's fine. You know,
Yeah.
I can just switch.
Send dirty notes in the cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
You'll find a way through. You'll find a way to get it through.
You're this one.
All right. Fuck, marry, kill. Coming from head, coming from sex with no condom, or coming from sex with a condom.
I mean, what? Kill coming with sex with a condom. Fuck coming from oral. Marry coming from sex without a condom.
Okay.
Okay.
That was indirectly a way we just were like, rank the feelings of these. What feels the best?
Yeah. Oh, the thing where your organ is covered by rubber?
One more fuck, marry, kill. Fuck, marry, kill. Porn. Lights on during sex. Doggy style.
Kill lights on during sex. Fuck porn. Marry doggy style.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
I would go with that too. I'd kill lights on like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no. I'd kill porn. I barely watch porn.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
It's basically I don't care about porn or lights on. That's very much a question for you. Never mind. That was dumb. Well, I'll edit that out. I contributed nothing to that convo.
No, you actually did. By contributing nothing, you contributed everything.
Okay. Now a little would you rather. Would you rather be called daddy or baby during sex?
Baby.
Yeah,
Daddy's
daddy
weird.
feels weird to me.
Daddy, I'm like, what's going on? All right.
Well, I was going to say, even, does this one not vary relationship versus hookup?
Your daddy's just in general, you're like, what's up? Maybe call him, you know? Maybe reach out to him.
Well, so a lot of guys like the daddy. I don't know.
I know.
I've never
Listen.
had one that asked me to do that, but.
I'm a baby boy. I ain't a daddy boy.
All right, last one. Would you rather receive a dick compliment or a skill compliment?
Ooh.
Skill, because that's earned.
Interesting. Okay. When we did the episode with Julio, the dirty talk that ranked the highest was anything related to complimenting the dick.
It's huge. It's a massive hit. But when you bring in skill, you're like, oh, you noticed. You noticed that little thing that I did. Well, thank you. Why? Thank you.
All right. Do you want to do man's opinion or do you want to wrap? You going to do? We do one more little question.
Sure. One more question.
You feel okay? I'm like.
Yeah, I'm
checking in.
I'm getting sweaty.
Okay.
Which I'm like, yeah. It's that sick sweat. It's not even, you're like, ugh.
Spice up or the likes on Instagram are like. the very bottom.
Let's do likes on Instagram because we've kind of done spice up
Cool.
a few.
You can ask.
Okay. So to wrap things up, we have a little fan question that we want to ask
Wait.
you.
The segment is called Man's Opinion.
Oh,
Man's
man.
Opinion.
Man's opinion.
Yeah, man's opinion. As straight white dudes are getting a bad rep, this is our time to let you shine. We actually want your opinion on this thing. You are allowed to mansplain in this area.
Thank you for the pulpit.
All right, here we go. A fan says, my ex has been liking all of my posts on Instagram, which he didn't do while we were together. Why do guys suddenly interact with you on social media once it's over? Because
they want you in their lives without responsibility. It's like that's like a what if. You're just like doing the thing where he's like, hey, maybe if we tried it again, it would just be so much better. And then you'll go back and you'll be like, no, it still doesn't work. And he's like, all right, but don't go live another life without me. It's just kind of like a tap on the shoulder all the time. Like, hey, remember me? Hey, remember me?
Yeah.
You shouldn't.
Very true.
That's why you should unfollow anyone you break up with. What the fucking point is watching their life if you're not a part of it anymore?
I agree. I've learned that lesson the hard way.
Yeah, because then you watch and you're like, oh, look, your uncle likes him.
Well, it's interesting you said the get back together, though. I think this is the part where women not get confused, but a lot of times we assume. Because I've had that of an ex, and then I just flat out was like, is there any part of you that wants to get back together on any level or try again? And then they're like, no. And it's like, okay, well, what you're doing is implying those things to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's subconsciously they know that, but they're just like, trying to stay aware and present in being like, hey, I'm still a person. Remember me? Do you still have those fond feelings for me?
Right. Like I asked a guy friend about that when I went through it, and they basically were like, it's kind of an ego thing where they kind of almost want to know, can I still get you?
Yes,
like,
absolutely.
Am I still going to get love and attention from you either in return or?
Yeah. Or and then, when you show any back, they're like, yes. And then you show too much and they're like, whoa, chill. What's up?
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't like that. And we both found that when you just call them out and you ask like, okay, why are you talking to me now? That they're going to be like, oh, well, I didn't want anything. Like, why? I can't just like your Instagram?
Yeah, we suck.
Yeah.
The most I got was I got a guy just to go, yeah, that wasn't fair.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That's big.
That's a win.
Yeah. Right. Like I just was like, like I had to map it out of like, you did this, you did this, you did this.
Yeah. He's like, you know what? I did all those things.
My ex, when he did that, he was like, well, I did just start seeing someone and I'm really happy with my new girlfriend and I got over you a long time ago. I was like, okay.
Ooh, ouch.
Thanks.
I was saying all the meanest things.
Yeah. It's like, all right.
It's like,
well.
also, your mom's cooking sucks. And I just got a raise at work. So later, loser. Have fun on your boating trip.
Yeah, it's weird because it's like I found the best way, or what worked for me is I just basically was like, are you flirting with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that was the nicest way of being like, I'm calling this out. I'm not rejecting you, but you're flirting with me and you said you want to be friends. And then I just said, I don't flirt with my friends.
That's smart. That's a smart.
And then he was like, that's fair. And I was like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Like, I was like, if you really want to be friends, I'm not going to flirt. So don't be mad when I don't flirt back. Okay?
Yeah, later, loser. Like that last part was mean.
Yeah, I'm like, and I got a temp job, so
Yeah.
it.
Boom.
I'm back on a payroll, baby.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming on. This has been awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
One last little quick thing. As we call Shooters Gotta Shoot. We're all four people shooting shots, taking chances. Can you remember a time in your life that you shot a shot, maybe in a creative way, and was it a hit or a miss?
Oh my God. I mean, yeah, I've had so many ideas killed trying to make shows and shit, or like, with stand up, that's bits. You just like, you shoot a shot every time. You're like, what about this bit? And then it just doesn't work. And you're like, fuck me. Why did I try that? You're like, you fucking idiot. So I'd say stand up is that constantly. Cause you're just like, is this any good? And sometimes people are like, yeah. Sometimes they're like, why would you say that out loud? And you're like, sorry, fuck, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot.
I was gonna say, were there any creative ways that you like asked a woman out or made a move? Like if you want some embarrassing ones from us, I wrote a song once for somebody.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Middle school? Okay, not recently.
That middle school, that's pretty good. One time I left a note for a girl in I remember one of my first shots that I took that I missed was like 5th grade. I left a note in a girl's desk that was like, I really like you. And I made her a card and she was like laughing about it with her friends when we came in from lunch. She's like, this is so creepy. And I was like, yeah, sure is.
Oh my God. Wait, you didn't sign your name to it? Or?
No. And
That's why.
Yeah.
That's why. I just thought it was creepy.
And I wrote in cursive, and it was.
Oh, you were like, this is romantic writing.
Yeah. Got shut the fuck down. 10-year-old me was like, damn, you're cold, Amanda.
Wait. If she was into the note, what was your plan?
I was gonna tell her it was me.
Oh, you thought you were going to overhear her being like, someone left me this note, I wonder who it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she's like, look at this note. It's so creepy. Like, what's that? Oh, no.
I think Joe wrote that.
Yeah. I think someone else did get blamed for it. And I was like,
oh, God.
Fuck it, that kid's taking the case. I don't care. I'm not private. It's too much.
I was like, you indirectly almost like tried to get her to agree to a blind date. Just like, someone likes you. You want a boyfriend? We can't tell you who until you say yes.
And then in 7th grade, I asked a girl out to her face and she said yes. And she was like a preppy girl. And I was like one of the poser kids that hung out with skaters. And she said yes. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. And then like the next day at school, all of the preppy kids were like, hey, did she break up with you yet? And then this one kid was like, she just said yes to you because you asked her to her face. And I was like, huh? And I remember him saying that and me being like, yeah, cool. All right. Well, I got to go to social studies. So I'm just gonna wear that one, but thank you.
Oh no.
I mean, if it makes you feel any better, a middle school story of mine was I asked out a kid, whatever, and then I heard from other people he said we weren't going out. And then to break up, I had to ask him if he wanted to break up. Like, I did it in a nice way. And I'll never forget, I wrote a note and I said, hey, do you still want to go out? And then I made a box for yes and a box for no. He didn't even check one of the boxes. He just wrote, can we be friends? And I was like, just check a box,
no.
Tim.
Wow,
I made
that's
it as
actually
easy
nice.
as I could for you. It's
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
really, yeah, that's nice though, because he wants to be like, I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah. But I was almost like, hey, I already heard that
Yeah.
you're not my boyfriend from
Just
someone else.
just give me the direct answer, bud.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyways, this has been awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and definitely everybody, you want to check out Dan's albums. They're on Spotify. Look up Dan Soder. You'll find both of them there. And follow him at Dan Soder. That's Soder, regular Dan.
Yep.
And any dates you have coming up, by the way?
Yeah, I'll be in Columbus, Ohio, and some other dates. dansoder.com. I'll put them all up there.
Perfect.
Well,
Yeah,
thank you
definitely.
both for having me.
Yeah, this has been
Thanks for
awesome.
coming on.
Yeah.
Definitely follow Dan on Instagram. One of my favorite follows. Very, very funny.